those names.
That gets on my friends' nerves because
Yeah.
they say we don't understand how you can remember all these dates. And so
What's that
I
about?
do.
You don't know, just naturally, or what?
Yeah, it's natural to me. Yeah, it might have. People assume that because I was a journalist working journalist for 32 years, that's where it came from. But it started for me well before I began working as a journalist. Like I gave you the date for the March on Washington. I was 19. I was working as a journalist. I was a student at Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. I transferred from Lincoln to Howard University in '65. But so I participated on the March in Washington on August 28th, 1963, and I'll always remember that date. You know.
Yeah.
I remember. Have you ever heard of Black American fathers having the talk with their sons about what they will face in the street? It's called the talk. I remember when that happened. That happened in August 1958 when I was 14. I was going out of the house, we lived in Harlem at the time, out of the apartment. My father stopped me and said, look, come here, I want to talk to you. He said, you're bigger than most of the fellows that you hang out with, and I want you to be cool if you ever stop by policemen and they begin asking you questions. I don't want you flying off the handle and give them a reason to hit you or beat you. He didn't enter shoot you, but it was implied. And he said, well, if you're stopped by a white policeman, you won't be treated fairly. But I want you to get out of that situation in one piece. So I want you to cooperate with the policeman. And this tape always runs in the back. I can hear his voice right in the moment. It runs in the back of my head. I want you to cooperate with the policeman until you can get away from him. All right? Don't mouth off. Don't call him any names. Because all you're going to do is set yourself up for more difficulty and perhaps be hurt. So, now I didn't believe him. I thought that applied to his generation. I sat there and listened to him, and I said, no, that doesn't apply to me. No one's going to beat me. You kidding? That's my arrogance. Yeah, youthful arrogance and lack of information. I didn't know. Ignorant, really. But then as I got older, I saw these things playing out, and I was stopped driving for no reason, any number of times in Washington. And it was mainly a white police force in Washington. Metropolitan Police Department was mainly white, very few black officers at the time in '65. Again, Washington is a southern city. And they'd see me driving a car and pull me over and stop me and want to see my registration and license, and everything was in order. And then, okay, go ahead. What were you going to do? You just went along, and whenever that happened, the tape played. As much as it annoyed me, I could hear my father telling me, remain calm, don't lose your temper, because you're only going to make it worse. Yeah. So that took place for me when I was 14, 1958. August. I don't know the day in August, but it was it was a weekend afternoon. Yeah.
Did you have a habit of writing growing up? Did you journal?
I had essay courses, of course, in high school. I went to a private high school. My parents, well, this is fortuitous. My father said all of my education up until the 8th grade had been in Harlem, including the 8th grade. I went to PS one. People from New York when they say PS. You know what PS stands for? Public school. I went to PS 133 and then PS 138 for junior high school. And my father said I was getting good grades. My father said he asked me a civics